Good morning, Lorcana Goons. This is Kevin, and we're here with
Good
Bag.
morning.
How's he doing?
Good morning, Lorcana Goons.
How's it going? How's it going? How's your cardio going?
Going good. We're almost done.
Okay. So
But
we're gonna go over the best cards from Chapter 2 so far that we know, given all the leaks. So it's about like 20, 15 cards, and we're just gonna go through them real quick and give our brief opinion on them. So we're just gonna start off with our first one, Bounce. This is a Emerald card. It's a 2 cost, and it says return chosen character of yours to your hand to return another chosen character to the player's hand.
so you get 2 bounces.
Yeah, you get 2 bounces. You bounce one of your own, and then you bounce one of your opponents. I did read a
Well, you
ruling.
can bounce both of your own.
Oh yeah, no, it does say right. It's to the player's hand, so you can. Oh, so you can choose 2 of your own characters and just bounce them.
You know what? It's funny that Lorcana just puts these bounce cards in. There's so many. This is not the only one that's just sending cards to the hand. What's their obsession with it? I want to know.
Well, I mean, I think it's the Green's version of removal, right? Because Genie has it.
Well, Green has Mother's Knows Best.
Yeah, Green has Mother Knows Best, so that's it's just Green's version, Emerald's version. I'm gonna say that this card has a lot of application. I don't think it's gonna be in the broken section, but I think it might be somewhere within, like, let's say we'll probably see play. I want to even go as far as say high potential, because I did read.
I don't think so.
I did read a ruling with this card that the Lorcana Twitter responded with, saying that you don't have to have 2 targets for this. If you activate it and you only have one of your characters, then you can bounce it to your hand, and then that's it. The card resolves. So but let's say we'll probably see play, just because you're right. I'm not sure if it's like high potential, right?
I don't think it's mids, but I think it belongs in the
Okay, yeah.
middle.
So we'll leave it at we'll probably see play. So it'll probably see some play, right? Next card, it's gonna be Belle, the 5 cost Emerald Legendary. You want to read the effect, Bag?
Shift 3, and then we have Thorny Arrows. Whenever this character is challenged, the challenging character players discards all cards in their hand. So it's like a beefed up Flynn Rider that's gonna get rid of everything in their hand as opposed to just the 1 card.
It's a scary.
3 lore is strong. 3/3 is crazy. Shifting it on turn 3, card's insane.
Yeah.
Card is insane.
Does it go to it goes to broken, right? Not high potential.
For sure. For sure broken.
You think so?
Imagine dropping that turn 3. What are you gonna do? You have to turn 3. Belle, the only way to get rid of it is what? Smash?
Yeah, and you have to be playing a steel deck. And we don't know what other cards are coming out in Chapter 2. There might be some more damage-dealing cards for other colors and whatnot, but for now, this is just broken, right? Like you said, turn 3, your only out is Smash. Yeah, Smash. You can, like, Tinkerbell, maybe grab your swords. Yeah, if you can shift Tinkerbell, grab your swords, that's the other out, but it's literally a steel out. So if you're not playing steel, like, what do you do against this card? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, turn 3 is too strong.
As a 5 ink and Emerald, it does kind of get in the way of like already wanting to play 4 Cuscos and already wanting to play 4 Mad Hatters and stuff like that because of the inkable situation. That's the only reason why I'd maybe put high potential, but let's just leave it as broken because the effect itself is nuts. Like, you know what I mean? The effect is a really good effect. So I don't think
standalone, like in a vacuum, that card is crazy.
I do want to go over the next card, which is going to be the Newfoundland Rider. The Newfoundland Rider is a 1 ink, 1 strength, 3 willpower. It's basically Olaf, like, like an Emerald Olaf. I'm gonna put this at I would say we'll probably see play. I don't think it deserves a high potential spot just because it's not going to do anything like I don't think it's going to do anything too crazy.
Card's good at all.
You don't think it's good? You think it's mids?
I think it's probably below mids. It's a 1-mana 1/3.
I mean, Olaf.
What are we talking about here?
Olaf is
exactly.
A 1-mana
Olaf? You're gonna say Olaf is strong?
I mean, I'm not saying it's. I wouldn't say Olaf is boo boo, but it's a nice card to open up. If you combo it off with Megara, that's the thing too. You get to combo this off with Megara. Maybe I'll put it at mids. It's not anything crazy, but I think it's a needed one ink character for Emerald.
I guess in Emerald, yeah, the 1/3, but like, I don't think Emerald was crying for a 1/3 right now.
Yeah,
I think it's okay. I think it's a good 1-drop from the options that we have, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna lose sleep over not having a 1/3 in my deck.
I'll leave it at mids because I'm gonna leave Boo Boo for the cards that are just that if you pull them from a pack, you're gonna be mad. I don't think I'd be necessarily mad at pulling like a 1/1/3 that I might need for an Emerald deck. I'm talking like cards that are just not gonna be used, like some of the Amethyst cards that just heal like for 1 or something in Chapter 1. Those are Boo Boo.
boo keys.
Those are like, you don't use them ever. Like this will probably actually be used in decks, you know, as a decent like starter, as a decent one drop. That's why I was gonna put it at we'll probably see play, but we'll keep it at mids because right now you could just play all off.
Definitely think the healing right now is slept on.
No, yeah, but I'm talking about like the cards like Healing Glow or Dingle Hopper. Like those cards are boo boo. Like those cards will see no application like in the metagame. You know.
I don't know. I think they will. I think we just haven't seen the right deck yet.
You think Dingle Hopper will see meta? I don't think Dingle Hopper will ever see meta.
In a certain meta, it will.
I mean, you're hoping for Dingle Hopper meta. I am not expecting a Dingle Hopper meta, but okay. So the next card we're gonna go on is actually gonna be the green card right here. This is Bucky. Bucky has somewhat of a hidden effect actually. Specifically, Bucky says,
Ward has Squeak. Whenever you play a Floodborn, it's cut off, blank. Each opponent chooses and discards a blank.
Okay, so it has Ward. It's a two ink, right?
Yeah, 2 ink, unknown willpower, unknown strength, unknown lore. Whenever you play a Floodborn, each opponent chooses and discards a blank.
Ah. I mean, it's probably going to be chooses and discards a card, right? But it's specifically whenever you play a Floodborn.
Possibly. I'm really curious to see how this works. Maybe we have a shift Bucky or something? I don't know much about Disney. Sorry, guys. I have not watched all the Disney movies. I don't know where he's from.
No, it's not you.
A shift Bucky. But definitely not.
What could Bucky shift into? I feel like this card is like, it means something.
I don't think.
Do we also know what kind of rarity it is?
Not necessarily, no.
Oh, it says there's a lot of nuance to Squirrel. Kronk. Is it from Emperor's New Groove?
Oh, maybe he is from Emperor's New Groove. Is Bucky from Emperor's New Groove? That's hilarious if he is.
I just gotta say, we're putting Bucky on Broken because he's so cool. Look how he looks.
Put Bucky in Broken. Okay,
we'll
put him in High Potential. You know why? Because now that I'm thinking about
High Potential.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like this card could combo off with something like You Have Forgotten Me. Because we know it's gonna discard a card in both players' hands, right? It's a 2 cost.
Also,
so if you can ramp into this,
is important.
Yeah, 2 ink. If you can ramp into this and then turn 4, maybe You Have Forgotten Me. Are you gonna discard 3 cards from your opponent's hand by turn 3? That's
crazy.
That's kind of nice, right? Okay, so those are the Emerald cards that we know so far. We'll go to the Steel cards next. We have the Prince Never Gives Up. It's literally the Prince. It's a 3 cost Steel, 1 Strength, 3 Willpower, Bodyguard, 2 Lore, and it has the new key term Resist +1.
That is insane.
This actually gives like Steel a lot of pressure. It's almost like characters that Steel needed, right? A lot of Steel right now is a lot of 1 lore,
yeah.
like characters that are very almost, I wouldn't say kind of weak. The highest lore is like 2-drop is Aladdin, but it only has 1 willpower. And then this has an extra resist. So if you have this on the field and your opponent summons a Tinkerbell, like a giant fairy, you don't take the 1 damage, which is, I think resist is kind of broken because it kind of just immediately stops the Tinkerbell.
Little guy deck.
Yeah. So I think this has high potential. I think it has a lot of high potential to be like a card, a good 3-drop that Steel's been needing. And then the high willpower, low strength means that it'll probably be good with cards like Phil, Megara, support type cards. I think that'll do a lot, especially the 2 lore. That 2 lore right there, that's kind of nice, know.
Strong.
Yeah, because I already want to play.
2 lore really puts it over the top.
I already want to play cards like Kristoff and Mickey because they're 3/3/3 with 2 lore. They just vanillas though, but this is a little nice. I kind of like it. And then speaking of resist, we have the new Tiana card that was announced, and this one is kind of interesting. This one is resist +2. It's a 4 ink, 1 strength, 4 willpower, 2 lore. And the effect is what you give is what you get. While this character is exerted and you have no cards in your hand, opponents can't play actions. So no action cards when you have no cards in your hand. So kind of a running theme with the Beast Mirror. If you have Beast Mirror and Tiana, you can like try and manipulate the game so that you could draw cards, waste the cards in your hand, and your opponent can't play Dragonfire. They can't play Be Prepared. They can't play Mother Just Knows Best.
I think it's okay. I think the card's alright. Definitely fan of the resist just because it's essentially 6 health and it's uninkable, 4 cost. I think it's
we'll
for sure not
play.
gonna be like the best. I don't think it's gonna be the best deck, but I think it definitely has some merit in it.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think it'll be like the most amazing thing in the world. I just think
a good budget deck, maybe like a good I just want to play locals, and this comes in the structure deck, I believe. So It definitely
Yeah.
gives you a little bit of a contesting against like other decks, but I don't think it's going to be anything game changing or game breaking. But I do like the card. I do like the new character, and I do like that. I don't know what movie she's from,
Yeah,
but
you never seen Princess and the Frog?
I have not. Is that's where Dr. Facilier is from, right?
That is where Dr. Facilier is from as well, yes. Okay, so I think we'll probably see play. I don't think it's gonna the effect is a little gimmicky. It feels like not having cards in your hand. And then like
Yeah.
it's that doesn't seem like the best win condition in my opinion.
Since I played a lot of steel, I feel like that's really strong with the beast here. You're for sure gonna play with no cards in hand majority of the time in the steel.
Yeah, I think you can even combo it off with Fishbone Quill to make sure you have no cards in hand. That's another one too. An interesting application there. Fishbone Quill Tiana combo. Make
Oh
sure.
yeah, Fishbone Quill. Fishbone Quill Tiana's crazy. Actually.
Yeah, because like, what are their actual outs? They have to have characters that do removal, like Hades or like Tinkerbell and stuff like that, and then that extra resist on it's kind of wild too. But I will still leave it at we'll probably see play just because high potential wise, it just seems like there's not enough cards right now in the game to make this like consistent. You know what I mean? Like a consistent strategy is how I feel. Okay, let's go to the actual broken card. This one I think is automatically going to the broken section. The new Cinderella Steel card. There's just so many things about this that are insane. It's a 7 ink, 5 willpower, 5 strength. It's a shift 5, so you can slap it on top of a Cinderella that is already on the field for 5 ink instead. It has 3 lore, and it has resist +2. And then on top of all those crazy stats, it has an effect, the singing sword. When you play a song, this character may challenge ready characters this turn.
Challenging ready characters is just not fair at all.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to really change the meta, like substantially change the meta, substantially change the way we've been playing Lorcana, because there's plenty of times where we're just like, all right, ink pass, my characters aren't challenged. My characters aren't ready, or not ready, or whatever the exerted. That's the word. Sorry, they're not exerted. They can't challenge me. I just have to wait to build up my lore, and I could win the game. But nope, you got someone dropping down a Cinderella on you, maybe even shifting it, and they're attacking everything you have not quested with, and it just was gonna put you in a really bad position because you wasted a turn not questing.
Mhm.
They still got rid of your challenged characters, and you're just not having a good time. I can already tell you that. Another thing I want to say on that is that I was playing Lorcana at a tournament, like probably one of my first or second tournament. And some person I was playing, we were just playing the game. He's like, I'm kind of new, so if I make a mistake, just let me know. He tried to challenge one of my non-exerted characters, and I was like, oh, you can't do that. And he's like, oh, why? I was like, it's not exerted. So like, this is gonna make a lot of confusion for people, especially if they're still like trying to understand the mechanics.
Yeah.
But I think it's good for the game.
Yeah, a little early on, in my opinion, to introduce a card like this because there's so many players who don't even have their hands on the cards yet, so they still have to learn, the differences between a readied and an exerted character. Yeah, I think it definitely warrants a spot in the broken section, just because there's already a lot of
Yeah,
utility
100%.
there's a lot of utility with songs already, in steel decks that mix well with either cards like Be Prepared or even cards like not Be Prepared because it just die, but probably cards like Hakuna Matata, Grab Your Swords, and then the resist +2 means that it's not gonna get impacted by cards like Grab Your Sword. It is a little the 5/5 is like an easy. It's not like too hard to get around, but like you need like double smash. You need to attack into this, and being able to break the game mechanics of attacking a ready character, I think is really strong. I think the only other card in the game right now that kind of breaks the rules is something like Mickey, the detective Mickey, because you get a free ink off top of your deck. Things like that I think are really nice in a game, but this is just next level. Like it's unfair. Now people, there's already a hype for this in my opinion. So definitely.
I want to
collecting
add
Cinderellas.
something really quick. If this is what they're revealing to us, imagine what they're not revealing. That's probably even like more broken than the Cinderella. I doubt they're giving away their trump card here. Like this is the best thing in the whole set. So I'm really excited to see what else we got in store for us.
The next Cinderella is a 2 ink 2/2. When you play this character, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. So it's basically like the little Simba, the mini Simba, the one that draws and discards.
What card is that?
It's the new Cinderella. It's the one that got revealed.
Nice.
It got
It's a
revealed
steel?
yesterday. Yeah, it's a steal. It got revealed yesterday. 2 ink, 2 2.
Oh, so we got our shift Cinderella here now. That's cool.
Well, we already have the other shift Cinderella. We already have the other Cinderella. It's an amber. The 4 cost, the 4 ink.
Yeah, it's a 4 cost. So I'm talking about something really low because that 4 cost in turn 5 Cinderella is cool and all, but doing this turn 2 and then getting that other Cinderella faster because you can even probably combo it off with the lantern if people are still playing lantern by then and do it on turn 4. I think that's pretty strong.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Imagine you have lantern turn 3, this, and Stitch turn 4.
I think that's strong because then you still get to play the utility from the amber, get to heal up your Cinderella who already has resist. I think Amber Steel is gonna get a whole rework, and I'm really excited to see that now.
And then we have Robin Hood right here. It's a 2 ink uninkable. We don't know the stats on Robin Hood, and we don't know the full effect. We're just gonna assume the effect is exert, deal 1 damage to blank character. So I'm assuming it's gonna say chosen character. So you exert it, deal 1 damage to a chosen character. It's a ping. You know, we got a little.
We got Baby Hans without being able to quest.
Baby Hans.
I can see it. I can see it. You said it's a steel card?
It's a 2 ink uninkable.
You know what? Steel card I think is good. Just because there's a lot of cards in steel that could probably utilize the pinging, like obviously like I mentioned the Hans. A lot of people aren't playing the Plasma Blaster. I've been testing it. In theory, I think it's good. It's just there's some issues that need to be worked out, and I think this card could make the Plasma Blaster Hans like ping deck. I think it could make it viable.
You think so?
I'm really excited to see it. Yeah, because imagine turn 2 you drop that guy, turn 3 you drop the Plasma Blaster, you tap your guy, do 1 damage. Next turn you can also like ping with the blaster, and you're gonna basically kill any 2-drop. It gets rid of a hook pretty easily.
I think,
or even that.
I think it really depends on the amount of willpower it has. Because if it has 1 willpower, I think the card sucks. You know, if it has 1 willpower, the card is mid. It's a boo-boo, I think. But if it has like 3 willpower, then I think the card will definitely be a little bit better than what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna leave it at we'll probably see play, because I think like you're saying, there's a lot of theory behind like this card. You could probably like make some cool decks to try out, but I don't know personally don't know how successful it'll be. The next one is gonna be Gaston, the intellectual powerhouse. This is the new Gaston. This is the Floodborn version of Gaston. This card's kind of interesting. It's okay. It's a 6 ink, 4 willpower, 4 strength with 3 lore. The 3 lore is kind of fat. I'll give it that. You can shift 4 onto your other Gaston. So right now we only know that we have the Ruby Gaston. Maybe we'll get a Sapphire Gaston as well or something. But he has an effect that is basically develop your brain. And the effect is literally called develop the brain. When you play this character, look at the top 3 cards, put 1 to your hand, put the rest to the bottom of the deck. It's kind of like a pot.
I like that a lot.
It's kind of like a pot of duality.
Yeah,
you like it? It's
Sapphire?
It's a Sapphire card. Yep. So
yeah, I think in Sapphire it makes sense because you're not in a hurry to do much. You're kind of just setting up the hands, filling out the board, reacting to your opponent. So a card like this that lets you look at 3 cards in the deck, gives you that body on board. 6/4/4, those are some great stats. If I'm already like hyped over Cerberus of vanilla, imagine this like in my deck. I think it's good. I think cycling through the deck is good. I think it gives you an option to even not play Develop Your Brain at all because of that effect. I think it's a great all-in-one package for a Sapphire deck.
Yeah, I really think if we get a Gaston that's shiftable, like an earlier cost Gaston, it'll add a lot of potential with this card. You know what it is? People were saying this card was like whatever, just because it almost seems kind of like lackluster. But I think people forget that like when you use cards like this, like it's a +1. Like you play Gaston on the field, and you get a card from the top of your deck to your hand. Like there's not that many cards in general in Lorcana that give you pluses like that. Like drawing cards is really hard to do already, and then right now you have to waste 1 ink just to use a card like Develop Your Brain, you know? So yeah, I do think I think Gaston has a lot of potential, because if you're playing a lot of these and you're cycling through your deck and you're putting pressure with those 3 lore, yeah, dude, like this definitely has a lot of potential. I think people are sleeping on this card, just like you said too. That effect to look at the top 3 and pick one is so good, like super good. Yeah, we'll put it in the we'll probably see play. The next one is going to be Cogsworth, the first Cogsworth, which is not the shift one. It's going to be the 2 ink, 2 strength, 3 willpower. Has an effect called Wait a Minute. Your characters with reckless gain this effect. Exert, gain 1 lore. So this is a very interesting card. Another card that kind of breaks the mechanics of the game. You get to exert your Cogsworth and give your your characters with reckless an effect that lets them gain lore. So I mean, now your big Maui on the field actually can gain lore if you have Cogsworth. It's a continuous effect actually. It's kind of good. I think because of the shift that we get with Cogsworth that was also revealed, this card is probably, I won't put it in high potential, because I feel like you have to combo it off with the other Cogsworth, the big one. The big one being the 5 ink. This one's gonna be 2 strength, 5 willpower. It's a shift 3, so you can just curve right into it. It has ward, and then your other characters gain resist +1.
Ward resist +1 to all your characters on board, I think is really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this Cogsworth in broken and the little Cogsworth in high potential, mainly because the big. Let me finish. Let me because the big Cogsworth has that effect that allows all your other characters to have resist, and from turn 2 to turn 3, that just means the Tinkerbell the opponent's opposing Tinkerbell is never gonna do the damage you want it to do. That resist +1 on turn 3, yeah, it just turns off giant Tinkerbell. It's kind of crazy actually. And it's a 5 cost.
Okay.
It's a 5 cost, so you can sing with it after too. So,
but I mean, it just depends on what the blue decks end up becoming.
That's true. That's true.
But I don't ever have enough creatures on board for me to be like, oh, cool, I can resist 1. Like, no, I really don't care for the most part, especially when I have a Mickey or something with a lot of health. Like, I think it's good. It just depends on the deck. I don't think it's broken, especially with what we have available now.
I'll put it in high potential. So that's it for the Sapphire cards. Go to the Amethyst cards I have right here. This is going to be Winnie the Pooh, the Honey Wizard. This is one of the first reveals we got, actually. Honey Wizard is a 5 ink, 5 strength, 5 willpower. Nothing too crazy there. It's just a vanilla. I'm not going to put him in Boo Boo because I think there is potential. But I want to put him in broken because I think he's broken. A 5/5/5 with 2 lore. But let's put him in... Put him in the mids. Let's put him in the mids for now. I mean, I want him to be broken. I want them to release some Winnie the Pooh shift or some Winnie the Pooh support.
I can drop.
Right? No, yeah, it's not anything crazy. If anything, this is more fan. I think this is a fan service card. You know, it's definitely just there for the for the love of Winnie the Pooh. Unfortunately, it will be in the mid section. The only reason I won't put it in Boo Boo is because I think that 2 lore does give it a little bit of potential. You know, depending on how you're playing. Because Cerberus is a 5 ink 5/6 with 1 lore, and this is a 5/5/5 with 2 lore. And it's still, I think it has potential, like to just be in a deck, right? I don't think it's like Boo Boo, like you don't want to see it when you pull it. I think it's always a cool card. It'll probably always be a cute card to pull. The next one is Stuck. Stuck is a 1 ink action, and it just says chosen exerted character can't ready at the start of their next turn. I think this is Boo Boo. I'll just be honest. I don't think this is like the craziest card. It doesn't really do anything in my opinion. It just seems like a waste of an ink, and you're probably gonna ink it most of the time because you can't use it turn 1. You're not gonna use it turn 2. What are you really gonna use this on? So what's something that you really don't want to quest? You know, or what's a character that you really want to leave ready to?
No, let's just back up a little bit because it's not just what do you not want to quest. What do you want to stay exerted for the next turn?
What do you want exerted?
It's obviously a late card. I think it has some merit because there's instances in early purple when I was playing that you summon the Elsa and you're like, oh, I can't tap it. I need to exert that now, and then boom, you can't. So this off the top exerted creature that's giving a character that's giving you issues and being able to crash, I think it's definitely in the will possibly see play.
I think
just because like people play Befuddle, and I think this is just better than Befuddle in my opinion because it's gonna let you clear something problematic. It's gonna let you not let them lure with something problematic. I think it's good. I think it's definitely will see play.
I think it has some potential. I don't know about will see play. We'll keep it in between there. Okay, if there's like a mids and I don't know. This is the Sorcerer spellbook. It's a 3 ink, uninkable rare, and it says knowledge. Exert this card, pay 1 ink, gain 1 lore. So this is just an item that gives you 1 lore but you have to pay an ink to gain a lore. So this is kind of interesting. It's kind of like the Eye of the Fates, but a little different. But what I do like is that it's an amethyst item, and we've seen how consistent playing like a bunch of items is in the Ruby Amethyst deck. So I think this is actually really good. What do you think?
So Ruby Amethyst is hard to get excited about new Ruby Amethyst cards just because we see them all the time. So and there's a lot of good Ruby Amethyst cards, so it's kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, that's definitely gonna change the deck because deck's crazy as it is. So very hard to improve on that.
I think that this card will definitely improve on that. It's just gonna end the game quicker. It's probably gonna be good for the mirror matches too. When you have a card like this in the mirror match, you'll probably be able to actually finish a game 1 and maybe even a game 2. Whoa, crazy! I think it has high potential. It's like a character that you can't really get rid of unless you're playing Beast. And then there's no item removal outside of Steel, so that's why I'm like, whoa, what the heck? Like they really made a card that just gives you a lore every turn. For an archetype like a deck style that already draws a bunch and just gains a bunch of ink as you go on. But then we have an Elsa card coming out. This Elsa card coming out is not anything too wild. I think it's a 4 ink, 3 strength, 4 willpower, and it has Challenger +3. Not bad actually, but it's also just not anything too crazy. Challenger +3 would make it what, a 6/4 when it challenges somebody. It's a 4 cost, a 4 ink. It can do 6 damage. I guess it can out like Aladdin's and things like that. I don't know. What do you think? I don't think it's anything too crazy. Like I don't think Amethyst will play this card.
I don't think so either. I think there's a lot of options right now for them.
Yeah, seems like pack filler for a 4 ink. Seems like a card I don't want to pull. So sorry, Elsa. You're gonna go in the boo boo section.
Boo boo keys.
I do want to say really quick, Lorcana Goons, I do have to head out now. Have to go do the working, so I will have to leave it to Kevin here to finish off the tier list. Hopefully he gets the best choices and I'll watch it later. But later, Lorcana Goons, I'll catch you in the next one.
All right, so Schlump has to go, but I'm going to finish this tier list because we're going to finish what we started. That's what we do here at Lorcana Goons. Later, Schlump, have a good day at work. I got Merlin here now. Merlin being a 4 ink, 1 strength, 5 willpower. Battle of Wits. Whenever one of your other characters is returned to your hand from play, this character gains +1 lore this turn. So has an effect that can combo off with bounce. You know, you can bounce your own characters to your hand, and then you gain 1 lore with Merlin. It is a 5/1/5. I think it's gonna be somewhere within like the mids, or we'll probably see play section. But I'm thinking like meta wise, I think it's gonna be in the mids. I don't really see this being anything too crazy. It's such a situational effect, right? You need to bounce your own characters, and then this gains a lore, and then you have to quest with it. The aerial card that lets you ready itself with items and kind of manipulate like stuff like that. Like lets you basically like quest multiple times a turn, but this isn't really, I feel like this doesn't have a lot of potential to stay on the field too long, especially in like a Ruby Amethyst mirror match. You're gonna get dragon fired on turn 5 if you play this on turn 4. I say mids, you know, but if there's something I'm missing, then you guys let me know. The Mickey Mouse that's coming out is really cool actually. Mickey Mouse being a 6 ink, 1 strength, 6 willpower with 3 lore. Whenever this character quests, you pay 3 less ink for the next character you play this turn. This card is broken, in my opinion. Amber itself does a really good job at playing low strength, high willpower characters and doing the most with them. And then you combo it off with some of the steel power cards like Kronk or Cerberus, and now you're even comboing it off with the Cinderella. I think it adds a lot of pressure. So I'm gonna put this in broken, especially because of the effect where you can pay 3 less ink for the next character you get this turn. That's kind of nuts, right? We're gonna go ahead and go through the next one. The next one is gonna be the Queen. The Queen is nice. 5 ink, 4 strength, 3 willpower, shift 2, which is interesting because we don't have a queen that is like a smaller ink. The only queen that we have right now in chapter 1 is going to be also a 5 ink. So, but who knows? Maybe you won't shift this into that. Maybe there will be a smaller cost queen. And then who is the fairest? When this character quests, chosen opposing character gets -4 willpower strength this turn, and chosen character gets +4 strength this turn. So it's like a fat support effect. You -4 strength from them, and then you gain 4 strength on another character you have. So really high potential, especially like I just said with Amber having those cards that are very low strength, high willpower. You can combo it off with the Queen and make them really beefy. So imagine you combo off the Queen with the Mickey, you lower somebody's strength by 4, and you give Mickey 4 strength, he'll be a 5/6, and yes, I think that's wild. Really high potential. It's an inkable card, and it's a 5 cost. It's nothing too crazy. One of the better ones too, in my opinion, is going to be Dinner Bell. Dinner Bell is a 4 ink, and it says exert, pay 2 ink. Draw cards equal to the damage on chosen character of yours, and then banish them. I think this card has a lot of high potential as well. I don't know if it's just broken, but I think it's really good when you combo it off with something like Maui. You know, you can play Maui. Oh, you play this on turn 4. Turn 5, you play Maui. You challenge. You deal damage with the Maui. Usually it takes a pretty hefty amount of damage too, and then you can use this on that same turn to send your Maui in and draw cards, or you can keep your Maui on the field, make another trade, and then do it again, and you draw more cards, right? So that pressure for drawing cards in Ruby, normally you have to rely on your Amethyst engine to draw cards in Ruby, but now we might get like actual Ruby support that lets you draw cards, so you might not even have to play the Amethyst engine just for the draw power, right? Then we got Raya. Raya is a literal 4 ink 5/3. It's a basically like Scar from what I've seen. The only reason it's not like Scar is because it's a Storyborn hero and princess. We know that there is synergy with princesses and now Floodborns because of Bucky, so there's probably going to be a Storyborn synergy. But for now, Raya just seems kind of like mids. Even I would go as far as to put it in the boo boo section, just because it's like no one plays Scar. It's not the best card. It's not the best feeling right now when you pull that Scar with the, especially a foil Scar. So I'm gonna leave it in the boo boo sections.
Boo boo.
Sorry, Raya. Go into the boo boo section. Minnie Mouse. This is a card that was revealed yesterday. 4 ink. Minnie Mouse shift 2 into another Minnie Mouse, and then it has evasive, and then it has a hidden effect as when you play a blank action in a turn, this character gets +2 lore. So I'm assuming it's something like if you play an action this turn, you gain +2 lore, and it has evasive. The evasive stuff is kind of nice. I think this has some pretty cool application if and in like future evasive decks, or depending on how Ruby and Emerald end up like playing out. So I'm put at we'll probably see play, because right now we are seeing the evasives in the Ruby deck already. So maybe we'll see Minnie Mouse replace some of the evasive cards like Goofy or who is it? The Brave Little Tailor Mickey. We'll keep it right there. So not in the highest tier. We'll keep it right there. So and then we have these last 3 cards. So these are just the literal card art for these cards. We don't know what they do. That's why I left them to the end. So I'm just gonna put them based off of their card art. We got the tiger from Jungle Book. I forgot the name. Don't get mad at me. The tiger from Jungle Book has to have a nice effect, right? It has to have a good effect, so we're going to put this at high potential. And then Beast, we know the Beast Wolf's Bane is a kind of mid effect right now, but then we also know that Beast Hard-Headed is really good right now. So just going off of the fact that Beast is a beast, I'm going to put him in broken, because I've always appreciated Beast. He deserves a broken section. And Queen of Hearts better have an effect that says off with their head or something like that. I'm gonna assume though that because Queen of Hearts is a villain, that they gave her an effect that is kind of mid, because we don't really support the villains over here. You know, we're out here supporting the heroes. Clearly, the heroes, the princesses have the best effects, right? The villains seem a little bit more subpar. So I'm gonna put it at a hopeful. We'll probably see play. Hopefully, it'll probably see play. So. Beast, broken. We know Beast is always broken. The tiger from Jungle Book, high potential because it's a cool tiger. And then we'll put the Queen of Hearts at we'll probably see play, just because you know it is the first announcement of like Alice in Wonderland's villain side. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks for watching. This has been the tier breakdown of all the cards we know so far from Chapter 2. Let us know what you think. Let us know which cards you're looking forward to, and if you think that these cards fit the right tier section. Thank you guys. Lorcana Goons out. Okay, so after editing the video, I realized I missed like 3 cards. Hero to Zero is a 2 ink amber card. It's a song. It's a character with 2 cost 2 or more can sing this for free by exerting it. Count the number of characters you have in play. You pay that amount of ink less for the next character you play this turn. So depending on how many characters you have in play, you'll pay that much less ink for the next character you play this turn. A lot of people say this is a win more card. This is a card that's good when you're already winning. So I will put it at mids, but low-key it's a song, and sometimes these songs are a little underrated. So I do want to put it in we'll probably see play, but I don't think it will. So I'm going to put it as a mid because I don't think it's the best thing ever. Now we can go ahead and go on to Mulan, which is the new Mulan that came out. It's a 4 ink uninkable. It has 4 strength, 3 willpower, and rush. Only 1 lore. So unfortunately, Mulan, you do not make the cut of anything past mids. It's not that good for a rush card, let's be honest. It doesn't seem like the best. So I don't know if it's boo-boo, but it's looking kind of boo-boo. But we'll keep you in mids, Mulan. And Hypnotize. Hypnotize, I want to say we'll probably see play because the Emerald deck does need some draw power. If you don't know what Hypnotize does, it's a 3 ink action. Each opponent chooses and discards a card, draw a card. So it's kind of like a slower Friends on the Other Side. I just like that Emerald's getting draw power off of its own like engine without needing another engine. Mad Hatter was the only card in Emerald that draws cards, and now we're getting stuff like Hypnotize. So there is a lot of potential, and it does make your opponent discard a card as well. I think it's deserved on that section just because I'm pretty sure off the first few weeks people are going to try some wacky stuff out with this. So that's the only one I'm missing is Raya's dragon from that's on the sleeves. I just don't know what that character is, so I'm going to put that one not on this list because I have no idea who that character is, so I'm not going to speak on a character I really don't know. But yeah, thanks again for watching the tier list, guys.